Hello again. Just read a rather interesting article. You know how they say cell phones could be bad for you because, cell phones with the radiation that they supposedly admit in people getting brain cancer? Well, I think cell phones are a much greater problem throughout the Islamic states. I'm going to attach a link. You won't have to look for this, but the title is ISIS bans cell phones. The Islamic State chops off women's hands, whips men for calling their relatives using phones. Apparently, the Islamists, the jihadists, well, they're concerned in Syria and Iraq. They're concerned that the people that have access to cell phones might be giving tips as to the concentration of ISIL insurgents to folks like in Jordan so they can come bomb the hell out of them. So what they're doing is they're chopping off the hands of women that are caught using cell phones. And they've whipped 5 men, according to this article, in Mosul, Iraq, for having used cell phones. You notice how the women get their hands chopped off while the men get whipped? When you get whipped, you can usually recover. But when you have your hands chopped off, it's a whole different story. Again, women are targeted in a different fashion than our men. You want to read the article and ask yourself if these Islamic extremists aren't savages. They also talk about people smoking, and the Prophet Muhammad was against smoking. So they talked about finding a official with his head removed. They found the head, and a cigarette was stuck in his mouth. I mean, you have to admit that they know how to be very dramatic and graphic, do they not? You know, between burning people alive and chopping heads off and chopping hands off. You'd have to be mentally deranged to do any one of these horrific things that they think nothing about doing. Read the article and ask yourself, can these people be helped? Or do they need to be exterminated? I think the latter. What do you think?